Can you hear the rain? I don't like driving in the rain, so I pulled over for a coffee break until it lets up. And as I'm sitting here having my coffee, I'm thinking, while caffeinated. Uh-oh. And I'm thinking about lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. I'm thinking about this because I listened to a podcast talking about these things last night. And my algorithm is just blowing up with these topics. I realize everyone has a slightly different algorithm, so I don't know if anyone else is seeing this, but it seems to have really caught on, these things in our culture. People have become really fascinated by the idea that they might be able to do these things at will. And there are a number of schools and institutions that have opened up in the last few years that have the sole mission of teaching people how to be able to purposely, at any time that they desire, lucid dream and or astral project, leave the body. And I have experience with both of these things, so I know it's absolutely possible. I don't have the ability to do these things at will, and I'm a little concerned that this is going on. That it's become such a craze. Kind of like, everyone's obsessed with manifestation. It's, I think it's so dangerous that there's such a lack of concern for or focus upon the quality of our consciousness, the quality of mind doing the manifesting, or the quality of the consciousness doing the lucid dreaming, or leaving the body and going about and doing what? What are the implications? What are the consequences of the things you think and do and speak while outside of the body? We're not just physical beings. Clearly, if you can leave the body and still be having an experience, and I have, how does that impact your waking life and the waking life of and the spiritual life of other people who are also in this astral realm that you're floating about in? Like, why are people wanting to leave their body and go and do things? Why? Because we want a sense of excitement, adventure. We want a dopamine hit, most likely. And a lot of people aren't happy with their waking lives, and so it's an escape, maybe. It's concerning because we don't know ourselves. We don't know ourselves well enough to be able to conduct ourselves wisely in this waking state. The evidence of that is that the world is full of chaos and it's burning down around us. Almost quite literally. Like, we have caused a lot of problems in this realm and on this level of consciousness. And now we want to start playing in another one, not really understanding the consequences it might have on this level of consciousness and in the spiritual realm. Like, it's playing with fire. It's like giving a loaded gun to a child that has no safety on the trigger. That's how I look at it. And I also feel that it could be used for nefarious purposes, like getting people hooked on, it's just getting people hooked on another thing, another experience. We're all hooked on the dopamine drip of these devices, of our technologies, right? And we see the consequences of that. Like, a lot of people are mentally unwell and physically unwell because we're sedentary, because we're comparing ourselves to other people whose lives have been edited. It's not even real. We can't discern reality from fiction anymore because, you know, deepfake technology is a thing. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not conducive to our wellness. And now we want to add another layer of it that we don't understand. I'm afraid that some company is going to develop some device to aid in lucid dreaming or astral projection, and that people are just going to get sucked into this other realm of unconsciousness. That's what it is. It's like stepping further into the dream, because the fact of the matter is that there are all different levels of lucidity. Like, even in this quote unquote waking state, most of us are not awake. We are operating under some level of unconsciousness, and that's by design. Like, these devices, our technologies, help lull us into a lower state of awareness. They distract us. They make us more susceptible to suggestion and control, mind control. And I'm just worried that lucid dreaming and astral projection, like, that's just going to be another way in which people lose themselves. And it could just be a gateway into a really dark realm that some people may just become completely lost in and never be able to escape. That sounds hellish, doesn't it? And I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but, you know, life can very quickly become an episode of Dark Mirror. Do you guys ever see that movie or that series on Netflix? It's like Black Mirror. It's a reference to the computer screen, to the phone screen, and it's dystopian. It's like all the worst case scenarios of how technology could impact our lives. And like, we see that, I think overall our relationship to technology is not going in a positive direction. And I just think, could we put the brakes on this, please? And maybe could we please just focus more on the development of the consciousness operating the technology, developing the technologies. Maybe we could just stop. Maybe we have enough. Maybe we could just start developing these things within ourselves, you know? Like, I really do believe that we could probably, as human beings, develop the capacity to telepathically communicate. And really, it's probably more a matter of reawakening a sense or an ability that has just become dormant or latent because of our failure to exercise or use it. And why have we not used it or exercised it? Because we've been developing our technologies that are now doing these things for us. So many of the things that we used to do, we don't do anymore. And when you don't do a thing for long enough, that muscle or that ability atrophies. And we just keep going further in that direction and losing more and more and more of our capabilities as human beings. And there's just something in the back of my mind that is telling me that that's going to happen with the whole lucid dreaming and the astral projection. It's like we're being reminded of what we are or what we're capable of, but we're being reminded of it at a time when we would use it in a way that would really probably hurt us because we don't have wisdom. You know, like, we need to naturally reawaken these things and step into them in a natural way so that we can most effectively wield them. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not like demonizing astral projection or lucid dreaming, but I think these things should just happen naturally, you know, because otherwise, like, we don't know what's floating around out there in the astral realm. But we do know that we're not very wise, And most of us are just children, you know. I probably should not upload this. I like, I'm wishing I had a travel companion right now so I could have a conversation about these things. So I just upload these videos on YouTube and hope someone's going to engage me in conversation in the comment section.